kids don't make marriages. Kids make marriages harder because they take your time, they take your money, they take your resources.
What's up, guys? Sarah Fontenot here, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. Now, first and foremost, I've got to say, do not mind my voice, okay? Your girl has been talking too much, but in the best possible way, so you might have to deal with this that's happening, this little rasp that's happening. And also, if you have not yet and you are new to this family, please make sure to click below and get subscribed, because every Wednesday, we are going to be bringing you dynamic, real, raw conversations that are definitely going to start conversations for you in the home, okay? It's going to make you laugh, gasp, maybe even cry here and there. I might cry today. Who knows, because of this guest that I have today. But if you have not yet, make sure to subscribe, like, and please share. It means so much to our channel. Now, we got to get to business. So I am joined by an incredible woman today. When I tell you this woman has literally changed my life, this woman is one of the closest people to me, and not just because of how long I've known her. She's literally known me my entire life. I mean, my entire life. I mean, we've fought with each other. We've yelled at each other. We've fought for each other. We've yelled at others for each other. This is one of my absolute best friends. She is a serial entrepreneur. She is a mother. She is a wife. She is a boss babe. And not more than any of that, but what I love about that is she's also my sister. Can we please give it up for Miss Lauren Keith? Oh my God! Oh my God!
That was an awesome introduction.
I love that you're here.
I want you to just introduce me in every room that I go
I would
into.
love to do that.
Be like, hold on, do you know who you're talking to?
Can we just live in the same state?
No, but why don't we actually ever do that?
I don't know.
I tried to do that once when you lived in California.
Yeah.
But I already had a kid, and
Yeah.
you were like, that's not for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so.
I mean, but it was honest.
I was like, can he go with mom?
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, no.
She kind of loves
Caprice,
me.
if you ever see this, this is not the truth, okay?
She loves you.
I love you so much.
But that is a real story. But I appreciate you, because you've always been a person who knows you, and you've always been a person who knows your boundaries, and it doesn't matter who's delivering it to you. If you don't want it, you're like, no, that's not for me. I respectively decline.
Yeah.
Like, I love you and I love him. I just don't want to live with both of you together.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So I have to ask you, you know, the show is called It's Giving.
It's Giving.
It's Giving.
Yes.
If this chapter of your life were called It's Giving blank, what would this chapter be called? And you have to say It's Giving.
That's good. This chapter of my life would be It's Giving Harvest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like over these past probably like 8 to 10 years,
Yeah.
I've worked really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say like God or the universe or whatever. I know what you believe.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all believe.
Yeah.
My good karma.
Yeah.
Like, it's finally coming
To fruition.
harvesting.
Yes.
We picking the fruit now.
Come on.
We eating the fruit now.
Yes.
So, yes, I would say it's giving harvest.
I have to tell you, and just to give some context to those that are listening, you know, mom always said there's nothing wrong with hard work.
Absolutely.
Like always, she said, if you can hold your head high, if you have morals, if you have ethics, if you are proud of that person that you look in the mirror and you see and you're okay with that person, there is nothing wrong with hard work. And I've got to say, you're one of the most hardworking people that I know. There was a time where now, you know, obviously life looks different for you. You're successful. You have a beautiful family. And I can't wait to dive into your relationship, because you have 2 kids by one man, but one is 11 years older than the other. There was a breakup. We're definitely going to jump into that. But there was a time where you were literally working 3 jobs to keep, a roof over our head. And we both moved to America from Canada.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What was it like? How did you even what? You know?
Yeah, that story. If I take you to the beginning of the story, actually, it's so crazy. My now husband, was my ex, so we actually broke up.
Yeah.
We were together for 4 years, engaged to be married, had a baby, got pregnant, had a baby. And when our 15-year-old now was about almost 2, we broke up. I lived in America at that time, as you know. And but I moved back home to Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Regina, okay? Regina.
Regina.
Yes.
However, the rock radio station calls it the city that rhymes with fun. Just gonna leave that right there.
Probably went over a lot of heads.
Yes. So I actually moved back home, and I opened my own business there. Well, no, that's the after. My life story. I moved back home. You know, after you break up after a relationship, being together for 6 years, having a baby, trying to figure it out, working again, and I actually, my best friend, she like us is a dual citizen and was in our city, and you know we really formed a strong bond at that time also, and she was like, I'm moving back to Las Vegas because she had bought a house and she had rented it out, and the people who rented it out were just doing her so dirty. Like, straight up, she rented it out like furnished.
Yeah.
Like, straight up stole her furniture.
Oh my God.
Wasn't paying the rent.
Horror stories.
It was horror
I've got
stories.
plenty of those, by the way.
Yeah. So
back to you.
They were feeding her so many excuses, essentially, to stay in her house for as long as they could. But then when finally she's like, no, I got to put my foot down. I'm going to go back to my house. And I was really broken at that time. And I was just like, please don't leave me. Like, I need you, girl. And it's so funny. It was her cousin who we were actually like, as adults, had adult sleepovers. And while I was there, she was like, Lauren, why don't you just go with her if you're so like distraught about it? And I'm like, no, why don't I just go with her?
That's such a great question.
And I was like, but what's keeping me here? And at the time, I mean, I have my family, which is great.
Yeah.
My mom and, you know, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, that kind of thing. But I was like, I don't know why. Like, what's keeping me? I was like, I'm an American citizen also. I can work in America. All I'm doing is working here. Sure enough, I put in my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's where we became roommates.
Yeah.
But even prior to that, that's when I was saying the story of you said, no, I don't want a kid.
Yeah.
You lived in California already.
Yeah.
So I was going to move in with you, but you were like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm cool on that.
You know what it was? I think I was in my young 20s.
You were.
I was in my young 20s, sure. And I was like, the idea of having a child in the house was like...
It's a big responsibility.
Not only was it a big responsibility, I wasn't prepared for my life to change at that point, I think.
Yeah.
I was still going out. I was still having fun. I was still, it's like,
going to school.
I was going to school, getting my, you know, I was like, I couldn't even fathom having a child. I just felt like I would have neglected him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like in living the American dream, when I got to Las Vegas and I started, you know, looking for jobs, because I have my degree in accounting. For those of you who don't know, I have my bachelor's degree in business administration, but I majored in accounting. And so I was going on these interviews where, you know, the school promised, come here and spend thousands of dollars and put yourself in student loan debt because you'll surely be able to get that CFO job once you graduate.
It's a lie.
It's a smooth lie. However, I did the thing that society said you do. You know, you go to school, you get a degree, you get a good job, right? But the good job never came to me. But I think that's a plan and a purpose. Everything has its plan and purpose.
Yes.
But like our mother said, never be ashamed of honest, hard work.
Yeah.
So I got a job, and when that job wasn't paying enough, I got a second job. And when that job wasn't paying enough, I got a third job. And I was literally working 6 to 2, 3 to 10, and 11 to whenever like the club let me go home. Like the nightclub, y'all. Okay. I worked as a server.
Let's be clear. Let's clarify.
No shade to anybody or any profession. Just my profession was serving bottles, not bodies or anything like that. Okay.
My God.
However, it that was my livelihood, and it's almost like when you don't know better, you don't know better. Like,
yeah.
What other way outside of, like you said, if you're not degrading yourself or starting OnlyFans in the negative way or what not. I mean, the internet didn't exist back then like it does now.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
There's so much footage that never made it out about me, and I am just...
Yeah, because like cell phones weren't even like a thing yet.
Yeah.
Like, there were still flip phones. We were still texting in analog. However, I was a server in 2 places. My 6 to 2 job, I was pancakes at Pancake House, and I was a server there. And then my 3 to 10 job that I was at the Lamott's gift shop at the Four Seasons.
I remember you telling me you saw The Rock one time.
I saw. Oh my God! I wanted to die for several reasons.
I would have died. Oh, okay, let's talk about, because I already know this story.
Let me tell you something. The Lamott's, the Four Seasons is more like a bougier hotel inside Las Vegas. Most hotels in Las Vegas have like casinos, and that's why people are attracted to them. However, the Four Seasons is more like about luxury. There is no casino in the Four Seasons. If you go there, it's like you making money.
Yes.
The sunscreen was $38. Okay, and I'm talking a baby sunscreen. Like that's, people are just like, just charge it to my room. I'm like, okay, let's do that. But it was a tiny boutique. I don't even know if it's still there. I'll have to go to Vegas and visit it. Maybe I'll buy a $38 sunscreen as a flex. Like, boom.
I made it.
I made it. But every day, because like as a single woman, not that I wouldn't say that I don't care. Listen, do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel happy. If makeup is your thing, wear makeup. If no makeup is your thing, wear no makeup. If you feel like doing your hair, do your hair. If you feel like not doing your hair, don't do your hair. Do whatever makes your soul smile. However, I was very, lashes, hair, full glam, like every day.
Yeah.
This particular day, I had no makeup on. Not to say I'm not beautiful with no makeup. I am a beautiful woman, with or without makeup. But I have no eyebrows also. So that also adds like a level. It was giving cancer patient. Okay, so I'm bald face. I'm literally working 17 jobs just to like make ends meet, right? And so if you could just imagine like the run down this version, it's giving like, I don't even want to say names. Like,
I need tissue.
The struggle. It's giving Felicia off of that name. Okay. So
my thighs are sweating, y'all. My thighs. Oh my God.
This is my state of being. Now, what is the craziest?
Because I know how you feel. Literally, I know exactly how you feel. Like, yes, we're beautiful with no makeup on, but like
I was not in my 10 moment. Okay. And I literally, and I love, okay, so growing up, I don't know what kid in my era, born in the 1900s, okay, didn't watch the WWE before the World Wildlife Foundation made them turn it to like, or the WWF made them turn it to the WWE.
Right.
The WWF, The Rock in a Speedo?
Oh my God.
Like, okay, little Lauren?
Oh, grown Sarah. Okay, yeah, grown Sarah.
Me and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, we were married in real life.
In my heart. Yeah, he never really met me.
We were married to each other.
That was the one.
Yeah. Like
not 2 or 3.
He hardly had 2 sister wives. Like, we were married, okay? The man doesn't know me from a can of paint.
Yeah.
If you ever watch this, hi Dwayne, I love you.
I love you too.
Love the Speedo, love the Blue Bull, I love it all.
And we love that he's happily married with children.
Yeah, your children are beautiful, by the way. I follow you on Instagram.
I do too.
It's a thing.
Beautiful man.
However, beautiful man. And so if you can imagine single Lauren, first off, the boutique is like probably all of 800 square feet. So it's very intimate. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you come to spend money, there's only one shirt out on the rack. It's not like you get to, it's like, do you want this one shirt? Or this one shirt, or these one pair of shorts, and then I would go get them in your size if that's what you liked, kind of thing. And it had double open doors, and the weird thing is to me, 2 like bigger guys in black suits stepped into the 2 doors, and in my head I'm like,
I'm about to get taken.
The day I die. Like,
right, this is taken.
I mean, there's hotel security, but did they see these guys?
Yeah.
They're gonna take me, God. Not today. But then as soon as like one of the guys gives a nod from outside the door.
A nod.
He goes like this. Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes in. And I'm like, my first thing is like, mother. Why today? If you ain't coming yesterday or the day before or the day before or the
tomorrow,
day before or the day before.
Any other day.
Why is it the days that when you look full, like when I look like this.
We don't see nobody.
No one. I gotta sit and watch Netflix.
I intentionally have to go live on Instagram so somebody can get a piece of this look.
You look like a mud duck. Everybody and their mama shows up.
Right. Oh my
The
God.
man of your freaking dreams
Literally.
walks in.
Oh, I would lose it.
And he only bought like a granola bar and a pack of gum and was like, charge it to my room and like winked at me. I was like,
He winked at me. He winked.
I'm dead. And of course, from then on, I never went to work without makeup, but I never saw him again. Not in person. And he's just as dreamy in person as he was like on the TV to me. I was like,
Did you speak?
that's going to be $14.85.
For some gum and a granola bar?
It was high, girl. It was bougie. It was high.
What in the
$14.85.
Did you?
I didn't even get his room number, girl.
He probably couldn't get it to you.
No, he could. That's how you do it. You would be like, I'm in room 805. Charge it to my room.
But he's the Rock.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He was still staying there. I actually had to go after and be like, yo, this $14.85, it was to the Dwayne Rock Johnson, and they
And I froze.
And I was supposed to like, but you know the crazy thing is we've met a lot of different celebrities.
Oh yeah.
In our lifetime.
That one's just a different one.
I think it was all of like, 25-year-old Lauren heartthrob walks through the door and you're like,
Bambi.
I do. Yes.
Leg shaking.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I've ever been like starstruck.
Yeah, we know. We know everybody.
I was the only time I've ever been like starstruck for real. Like I cannot speak or breathe.
I've never met The Rock. I might still be
Dwayne, my sister.
starstruck.
My sister wants to meet you. And they say,
I just would love to.
you miss all of the shots that you don't take.
He's a married man. So
to meet him is so cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, not marrying him.
If that were an option, my answer is yes.
You should have him on your show.
Oh, God. Could you even imagine?
That would be so dope.
I would be in shambles.
You would just be like, or maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would have perfectly curated questions.
I would just have to make sure I was so prepared.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would probably I'd cry. I might cry.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's a beautiful person.
He really is. And if you follow his story,
the
all
work
like
ethic,
the
philanthropy, yes, the heart,
the hard work,
the transparency, the goofiness. Like I feel like he's someone that hasn't allowed his level of celebrity, and he's like one of the top celebrities on the planet. Yeah, he hasn't allowed that to go to his head. Yeah. From what I've observed, and I don't know the man from a can of paint, but I just love the way that I got it. Yeah. I just love the way that no, I didn't. I just love the way that he goes about doing. Oh, there it is. There it is. You see that? You see this hair?
It's a baby hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so back to you. The American dream. You had 3 jobs. Yeah. And so
working at Lamont's gift shop.
And then you went to the club. Them. Yeah.
And then but it was in close proximity because I'm giving everybody shout out. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. That's where I worked.
Yeah.
At a nightclub called Body English.
Yeah.
Which was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the people were great. Living the nightlife. I hated that you could smoke cigarettes in casinos back then.
Can't anymore.
You cannot.
Praise be.
But going to the club. Now it's crazy because yes, I had 3 jobs, but for 2 days on each of the jobs, but it was rotating. I would be off. Like, and some nights was crazy. I would get off from like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I would drive straight to my 6 a.m. job and sometimes sleep in my car so that I could get up and go back in. And shout out to my best friend who's like, without her, I don't know how. Like it's almost like we were co-parenting like
your children,
our children together, right? And on the days that I'm like a zombie, or if she would take my kid to work, or if it's the weekend, he's waking up with her and her daughter, and so it's like. The tribe
teamwork.
That I did. It was teamwork for sure.
Yeah.
And that was a tough period, but I'm grateful that during that time, even reluctantly so, you introduced me to entrepreneurship.
I did. And that's when I was struggling for sure. So funny story. A lot of you guys kind of have heard my story about how I used to be the girl digging in the couch trying to find $3 to put on pump 5, and how I was definitely that girl that was calling my mom or my sister Lauren every month saying, can you help me put groceries in my fridge? Can you send me $20? It was always $20.
It was always $20.
Can you send me $20? Actually, it was $23. So
ATM
fee. Yes. That ATM fee used to jack me up because if you send me 20, really I can't even withdraw it.
Yeah.
Because it's 17. You didn't send me 20. So I'd always ask like, yo, I need $23. And I'm so grateful because there's been so many times where one thing that we've always done for one another is if you need it, we will figure it out.
For sure.
We have always been those like figure it out kind of girls.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I would call and be like, hey, can you send me $23? And then there were other times where remember when we would be so deep in the hole? And maybe some of you guys can relate to this. Don't do this if it's not responsible. However, there were times where I was so broke and I had there was so much more month than money. There was so much more month than money. I was like, F it. I'm going to buy a pair of shoes.
100%.
And I'm talking about like going to the boutiques where stuff is $6, $7, $19, $18.
Yeah.
The fabric is not the same.
$27 shoes from Payless.
Period.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'd get like the $27 pair of velour blue shoes from the little boutiques that there would be, and I didn't care anymore because I was so broke. It's like, well, I'm already hundreds of dollars behind. A shirt ain't gonna hurt me.
Right.
You wash it one time and you can never wear it again.
Are we $20 from the rent? Are we not?
No, I'm spending this money, right? I haven't eaten in a week, I feel like there's this running joke about how, when I'm in work mode, I forget to eat. I once saw Beyonce post a video when she was doing Dreamgirls that she's like, that's the smallest I'd ever been. And it's because when I work, I forget. And I am that way. But back then, it was not. I could not afford to eat.
Yeah.
Now I get so busy, I forget to eat.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't have no money.
And also, she is you're a giver. I gotta tell this story of the $23. So she needs $23.
Oh,
it's always $23. To which I would always be like, Sarah, get a job.
She would.
And she would just be like, the word job disgusts me.
I said that.
Which it disgusts me too. Dang it.
While I'm struggling, though, by the way, I'm like, but can you give me $20?
But she believed in her dreams so big so much that it didn't matter. And you have to be relentless like that.
Yes.
And I'm grateful because I'm not that way. I'm like, no, I'll just get another job and just say I hate my life and do the norm than to step outside of the box and try to make something happen. But I love that about you, and I'm grateful for you for being. It's funny because someone asked me, they're like, what is one of the best, worst qualities that your sister has? And I said, it's her hard-headedness, but in a good way. Like, not like, oh, she's hard-headed, she don't listen to nothing, but like, she's hard-headed, she don't listen to nothing. But in the sense of you're goal-driven and you know what it takes to get a goal. And if you had been working a 9 to 5, that would have subtracted from what you were able to do during the day. Yeah. And as an entrepreneur, we all know, like, some days you could talk to 1,000 people and make nothing. Some days you can talk to one person and make 10 grand. Right. So it's literally the weight of your work and the network. You knew that your time was more valuable spent on yourself and your own business than working for somebody else. Yeah. So, but that's aside. I remember you asking when you lived in Hollywood. I did. And you lived near your college. I did. Like across the street, but it was like your house and then Jack in the Box. Yes. And then across the street was your school.
2 tacos for 99 cents.
2 tacos for 99 cents.
Them little greasy, skinny.
The craziest thing is we didn't even have Jack in the Box growing up. No. Like Jack in the Box. It's not where we're from. Yeah. Yeah, like not where we're from. Tim Hortons. Mm-hmm.
Chocolate glazed donuts. Shout out to them.
And in my head, I had always gone to visit you. So I could vividly tell you like the hardwood floors. Yes. The 1 bedroom when you walked in the room and you had your roommate. Yeah. And you go upstairs and you've got the bathroom on the side and your bedroom and another bedroom. Yeah. The common areas and the leather couch.
Oh, and that we would stick to because it was so hot because there was no AC. Yes. So you literally couldn't, if your limbs were touching the leather couch, it was literally like you had to peel your skin off of the couch when you got up in the summer. It was terrible.
Yeah, and your parking space that you had to go past your thing down the alley and park and then walk inside. Yeah. And the whole just like California dynamic so different from where we grew up.
So different.
But I can just vividly remember a homeless lady. Yeah. Who, if here's the Jack in the Box and here's the walkway, the homeless lady literally lives like on the grass on the corner. Yeah. With all of her things. And homelessness isn't something that we were used to because we're from Canada,
and they will die. They will freeze to death. You cannot be homeless where we are from.
People, and if they are, they're housed homeless people.
Yeah.
Does that make you homeless? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember her vividly, just because I had been to your house so many times, and then you're, of course, when you drive by, you pass by, and you're like, you see the homeless lady? Okay, great. But I remember you asked me for $23.
Yes.
And you said I hadn't eaten in a few days, and could you please send me $23? I'm gonna make it last. I'll get 2 tacos from Jack in the Box for 99 cents for like the next 20 eats. That's pretty much what you're telling me. Like the next 20 times
I could stretch this for 20 days. Okay, I just need 2 tacos a day.
99 cents. And I was like, okay, bet. So I sent her the money, and I remember calling you after and being like, hey, did you eat? And you're like, no. I'm like, oh, why? You just haven't had time yet. You're like, no, I gave the money away. I was like, what? And you're like, yeah, the homeless lady, when I was walking to the Jack in the Box,
she asked me for money.
And I only had $20. I was like, that is not what you do. You go on the Jack in the Box, you buy her 2 tacos, you throw her a couple dollars, and you go about your merry day. But you straight up gave the whole $20 away.
I did.
But I really feel like that speaks to the testament of your character, that like when someone is in need of you, regardless of who they are, like you didn't know that woman. You probably didn't even know her name, or maybe you did know her name, but you did like that. But you probably didn't even know her name. But for her to be like, hey, can you spare some change? Knowing good and well, no, I can't.
Right.
But I feel like that's the universe or God's way of like blessing you tenfold. You know, they say your blessing will be pressed down, shaken together, and overflow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why you're always in abundance now. It's like your good karma being paid forward. It's like that overflow.
You know, it's crazy because I had a home, but she might have been in a better position than me.
Yeah.
Like if you take the time to think about sometimes having a home and having a car and having the things and having to pay, like it's more, it costs more. Yeah. It's more responsibility. That woman and I don't really know. I don't mean doing better than me in the physical sense, but monetarily we were both broke.
Right.
You know, spiritually we might have both been broke.
Real.
You know, so I feel like broke is really a mindset. And I love to give.
Yeah.
I do. I love to give. And so I have to ask because, you know, I'm just thinking about our journey together, and I'm thinking about, look, me and Lauren got stories, okay? We used to fight like cats and dogs, but we never let each other like you can't fight her. You know what I mean? No, I used to throw hands for real.
I'll fight her.
Right.
But if you try to fight her, I'll fight you.
I'll fight you, and you will not win, okay?
Yes.
I was ruthless back in the day when Lauren got me into so many fights. I kid you not. This girl got me into so many fights.
True. And we deaded so many people.
We did. For each other.
We'd be like, we don't talk to them anymore.
Okay.
She's dead to me. I'd be like,
it's a walking corpse. It's a thing.
We don't even see you when you walk.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll walk through you. You're dead.
That was back in our Mean Girl days.
Yeah,
we did have mean,
sure.
But it wasn't even. I can't even say that it was Mean Girl. It was more just like loyalty.
Yeah,
we just had an unwavering loyalty, and I feel like even now, being an adult inside of my adult female friendships, that's something now that has finally boiled over and is so important to me. Like that level of loyalty, not in the sense where you have to dead anyone, because I don't care. Like if that's your relationship, that's your relationship. I don't like, as long as this is tight.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have going on outside of it, but also birds of a feather flock together. So if you were rocking with somebody whack, I got questions.
Yeah.
Like what part of you do I not know?
Exactly.
You know, you probably ain't in my inner circle if you know, anyway, not the point. But I have to ask you because I feel like, you know, a lot of people go through relationships and breakups, and most times, and just to give you guys some backstory, a lot of people go back to their exes.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. But you guys had a baby.
Yeah.
You broke up for 5 years.
Yeah.
You got back together.
Yeah.
You got married.
Yeah.
Had another baby.
Yeah.
And during the 5 years, sorry, Kenton, I love you, but we hated him at this time. You hated him at this time. So you don't have to walk us through like how you got back together, but like, why did you break up? If you were just gonna, like, did you think you were gonna end up back together?
No, honestly, I believed I was giving him an ultimatum, because at the time it was
when you broke up.
When we broke up. And the reason we broke up is because he wouldn't marry me. And what was so confusing to me is like, you bought me a ring, you proposed to me, you asked me to be your wife, I'm having your baby. We've lived together. We know each other. It's not like off the pop fly, like I met you 2 months ago and I want to be your girl. Like, it's 6 years and a baby. Like, you either poop or get off the pot, bro. Like,
right.
If you ain't gonna marry me, I'm gonna go find somebody who will. And then I think too, like, we got together when we were really young. Like, I was 18 and he was 23. So like two young kids with a bunch of money because he played in the NFL and the CFL. And that's how we got to meet each other. However, it's just like you have two really young people, and I don't know if you guys who are watching this can attest to when you're young and you think you're grown, but you don't really know who you are. You don't even know what your standards are.
Ooh,
you don't know what you believe. You don't know what you're still figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
You're still figuring the world out.
Yeah.
You're still figuring out, like, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, who am I being, even for self? And so I think as we parted and I so badly was like, why won't he marry me? I felt like a huge rejection. And I was just like, well, it can't be a me thing, because you could turn on Destiny's Child, I Will Cater to You, and I used to cry when that song came on when we were broke up, because I was like, I was this girl. Like, I will lotion your toes. Okay? Like, I don't understand. Like,
in between them.
In between your toes.
You got that from mom. I didn't get that gene.
That's not true. She has that gene. She just hasn't found anyone to pull that out of her yet. Okay?
Okay.
Pamela Brown is in there.
Somewhere. Real deep.
You just got to find somebody who you're
willing to pull it out. I was baking. I was cooking. I was.
She makes bread from scratch, y'all. Okay? So if you can pull out the bread from scratch, you know you might be the one.
The one before the last, I thought for sure that might have been him.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Yeah, back to you.
No, it wasn't it. But essentially, it's like I thought like a huge rejection. But in when you go through a breakup, you analyze everything. Like, well, why isn't he choosing me, or why won't he marry me, or what is wrong with me, what didn't I provide, what could I have done better, or what did he mess up, what could he have done better. So it actually, in that breakup, I literally was like, okay, but why am I with this guy? It was more of it wasn't more like oh, he won't marry me, well, now it's his loss. But then I'm also analyzing myself, like, well, is it his loss? Am I worth keeping? Am I the best woman I could be? Am I the best mother I could be? And it really just made me go into a soul search of, like, if I didn't know him and I was going to go into a new relationship, would I accept what he was giving me in our past relationship? And some of the stuff was no, and some of it was yes. But it also, I wouldn't change that 5-year breakup for anything, in the sense that I got to know me. I got closer with God. I got rebaptized. I got focused on what's important to myself. Me being whole for me first before I can be whole for anyone else. And inside of that too, I was like, okay, I also need to find a man, because I feel like God, in this weird way, and I got questions that need answers when I get to heaven. I'll be like, God, why companionship? Because it's like we're all drawn to want to be with our person. Yeah. It's like, why? I don't know. It's innate.
It's innate feeling. Yeah.
And so
we crave connection.
Yes. So after probably about, and I didn't date for probably 3.5 years after we broke up. But when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to like find somebody. More than that, I was like, who's going to be a good enough man for my son? So it was more not like, oh, is he hot? Is he dreamy? Does he make money? Does he? I'm like, no, what is your character? Yes. Who are you as a man? Yeah. Because I'm very clear, like, as children, we don't do what our parents tell us.
Not at all.
We do what they do. Yeah. And it's almost, and of course we can do the work, because there are some things I feel like I've gone to therapy over that I've got to unteach myself. Yeah. Or I got to unlearn. Maybe we shouldn't be frying chicken every day. Right. Maybe we shouldn't have fried pork chops with applesauce every day.
I used to make it.
Yeah, it's real. That's not going to get you to the body that you say that you want, or the health that you say that you want. Yes. And so you got to unlearn some behaviors, and that's fine too. But it's like down to a behavioral thing can be changed, but a character thing is like who you are. And so when I was looking at that, like, who's the man who's going to raise my son? And I'm very clear. And listen, ladies, shout out to all the single moms doing their thing.
Yes.
Because I was a very single mother for 5 years. And for whatever reason, my now husband, who holds it down, and I love him very much. But at that time, he wasn't able to help in the ways that he was. We lived in completely different states. So when I say single mother working 3 jobs, okay? And that's my journey. However, you are not a dad. You are not a dad. You will never be a dad. Dads are dadding. And nobody can teach a man how to be a man except for a man.
Ooh.
So I understand and I get it, because when you're holding it down and you're having to work 3 jobs because you maybe aren't getting child support, and you have to, quit, not go to your second job, and your check is going to be short. And if so-and-so would have just, because listen, I got some for the dads too. For all the dads who say, oh, you're not here and I don't have to pay and I'm not about to pay your rent. Does your baby stay at your house? Does your baby need the lights to turn on? Does your baby need the water to bathe? Does your baby need food to eat? So whether you're there or you're not, that mom, you're not paying for her rent. You're not paying for her lights. You're not paying for her bills. You're not paying for her food. You're giving her an opportunity to provide for yours. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Moms, you are not dads. You are not. Sorry to tell you, you are not. Nothing bothers me more, I hope this goes viral, than the moms that say, Happy Father's Day to other mothers on Father's Day. You're not a father. You're a mother. Are you an amazing single mother who's doing the deal and holding it down for your kid? Absolutely. But you will never be that child's father. It's just not a thing. All right. Now, with that being said, inside of the character of me being like a single mom and being able to work all the jobs that I'm working, and it does take away, because it's just so listen. The devil has a design.
Yeah.
And if you're taking the dad out of the picture, and then now you have single mom who's working 3 jobs, and I'm not going to get emotional, but it breaks my heart a little bit, because if now I am left holding all of the financial burden, because it does cost to stay in a house, it does cost to eat, it does cost for extracurricular activities, it does cost for the lights, the gas, the everything, life cost. However, now I'm paying for a house that we're not in all day, to pay for my kid to be in 2-3 daycares all day, to be raised by somebody else all day, right? And even like, let's say you're working a second job for an extra $500. If in child support you're getting that extra $500, now you've not only bought this child the things that it needs primarily to survive, but you've also bought their mother back. Because those hours I will never get back with my baby.
Ooh.
I will never, when I'm away from him, I'm away from him. And I'm paying someone else to be with him. And so it's literally like, it more than child support, it's like life support. Because you're taking their mother away from them to have to go provide for them because you're not doing your part. And we could have a conversation about that all day, and I feel strongly about a lot of things, and you know that. However, the character of the person that I was looking for to raise my child is what became most important.
Yeah.
Because it takes a man to raise a man.
Yes.
And I'm very clear on that. And I'm very clear that there are just some things, especially now being married and watching their interaction and watching how they play together and watching how he mentors him. It's like, I never thought of that. Well, you've never had to think of it before.
Yeah.
Because you've never been a man.
Right.
So there are things in our lives, like say if I know, let's say, I don't know, let's say you've never fried chicken before, and you just see that the oil is hot, but you don't know how hot, right? And if you've never done something before, you may never think of it, which is why experience is the best teacher.
Right.
However, in this case, maybe chicken is a bad analogy because if you have the oil and it looks golden on the inside, and then you take it on the outside, and then you take it out and it's raw on the inside, it's like, oh, I didn't know to cook it long enough. That can be taught. But for a person to never know, let's say chickens don't exist in Canada. So I would never think, oh, you got to cook the chicken all the way through, because it's an experience I would never know or get to have.
Right.
Now, I think like with men and women, there are experiences that my husband will go through that I'll never ever go through.
Right.
There are experiences that I will go through
that he will never go through.
He will never ever go through.
Right.
There are things that he can teach our children from his own perspective that life is the best teacher, but at the same time, it's like even how to react to some things. Some things I'm like, oh, you shouldn't do that or you couldn't do that. And my husband would be like, no, he should be able to do that because of these reasons. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And vice versa. I'll be like, no, he shouldn't do that or shouldn't be that. And I'll be like, actually, if he ever gonna find a wife, he better learn how to do these things.
Period.
Like today.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So it's literally when I was looking for my person, I was looking for the character of the person that I thought would be good enough for my son.
I love that.
Which was really hard.
So 2 things are coming up for me because in the beginning, when you started talking about why wouldn't he marry me?
Yeah.
I don't think men marry until they're ready.
100%.
And a lot of the times it has nothing to do with the woman that they choose.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they could have a great woman that caters to them and loves them, and they know that they could build something great. And it takes a certain type of man to say, okay, this woman is with me with where I am. But a lot of the times when men aren't financially stable or they don't know what they want to be or what their purpose is, and they don't know who they are, and it could be all 3 or any of the 3, I don't feel like a man is ready to commit to marriage because he hasn't even committed to himself.
That's true.
And so I think that we have to take a lot of the pressure off of us as women being like, well, why didn't this man choose me? Because it's easy to get married and it's easy to be in a relationship, but being with a person that is aligned, being with a person that understands that there is a yearning and a desire to know who you are and to move in integrity with that person and strive to evolve. That's a different type of relationship, which is why 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce, right? Because people don't take the time to really solidify those things first. But I do have to ask you, because I'm sure, there might be people that are listening or watching at home or in the car or wherever they may be. And they're thinking, I really love my ex and I really want to be with my ex, but I have dogged them out to my family. I have dogged them out to my friends. When I tell you, I'm sorry, Ken, if you ever watch this, we dogged this man out. We did not, nobody. He was dead to all of us. Mom, dad, siblings.
Mom, he wasn't dead to mom.
Okay.
Which I actually hated. Mom was like, why is my son messing up? And I'm like,
okay.
Your son.
Okay. Touche.
We ain't married.
Right. Okay. So outside of mom, because mom is mom. She's special.
She's so special.
That lady's a little different.
Yeah.
Outside of her, all of us hated him.
Yeah.
Me and dad were like, you're done. Everybody. Yeah, you're literally dead to me. Like, how did you, when you were like, okay, let's get back together? Because it was so abrupt.
Yeah.
We were all you flipped us all upside down.
Yeah.
And now we got to let go of the biases and the judgments that we have against this man.
Yeah.
And we're telling you you're crazy.
Yeah.
How did you overcome and not allow our voices, our opinions, our biases, not stop you from going back to your ex?
So it's funny because you did say it just came out of the blue. The funny thing is we talked in secret for almost a year before we decided.
I can't believe you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, because okay, so first off, guys, don't dog the person that you're with.
Period.
Because, and this is what I've also realized about I'm my evolved self.
Yeah.
I've analyzed it. But have you ever been in a relationship and good things happen every single day?
Yeah.
And then, but who do you call and tell about those good things?
You and mom.
Yeah, but if let's say if I brought you flowers today, and that's a regular occurrence, but it's very sweet.
I love that.
Typically we don't call and be like, oh, I got flowers today.
I do.
You do, but
most people.
Most times, most people, bad news travels fast.
Yes.
And only when, oh, he dogged me out, he did this, he cheated. I was looking at his Instagram.
He liked this.
We hear about the negative things that our partner does. We don't hear about, oh, he rubbed your feet after you got off of work. Oh, that's so nice. Or he gave you a back rub, or he ran a bath for you, or he made dinner for you and the kids. So when you were, I don't call in everything is awesome. We don't have those conversations. I call you when I'm broken and he done did this, or this had happened, or we just say the negative things. And I can honestly say something I'm really grateful for. And I hope, maybe, hopefully, hi, single moms, if you're listening, don't dog the other parent in front of your kids. Now, this is why. If our parent decided to go out and kill somebody today, our parent is a killer. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to choose my parent. And so because I didn't get to choose that, how would it make you feel if you're hearing negative things about someone you love?
Oh,
like
innately
love. That's my person. I can never change that. That's my parent. I can't change my parent. I can't change who birthed me. Yeah. I can't change. I mean, maybe you get beat by your mama and you still cry for her name.
Yeah.
She the one who beat you. But you're like, mama.
So true.
So like, I am proud of myself in the sense that I was evolved enough to know, killer or not, support or not, good or not, my feelings or not, how I feel about this person is not my child's relationship with this person.
Oh, so important.
So it was easy for me to transition that because I always let his dad be his superhero. Because it's like, that's your dad. Mm-hmm. And I always thought whether we worked out or we didn't, that I'm such a practical person. And actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on your show, but prior to Caprice being born, Kenton and we had an abortion. And then we ended up pregnant again. And I was like, abortion is not a form of birth control. Mm-hmm. Even though we were using condoms at the time and I was on birth control, it was like, okay, God, fertile myrtle over here. But in that, I literally had said to myself, because I was, 21 when I first got pregnant? And so at 21, you're thinking you have your whole life ahead of you. You're telling everybody like, oh, a baby's going to ruin everything. Yeah. And, your life is over. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a struggle. You haven't graduated from college yet. Like all of these things. Yeah. And so it's like, I literally said to myself, like, I'm going to have this baby and one of three things is going to happen. One, me and his dad are going to stay together forever. Because at that point, we had been together for 4 years already. I was like, we're going to stay together forever and live happily ever after. 2, we're going to break up and I'm going to be a freaking rockin' awesome single mom. And am I strong enough to do that? Yeah. Or 3, I'm going to have this baby and his dad's going to raise him. One of these are the options I got. Yeah. And I was like, and am I strong enough for each and every single outcome? Like, or we're going to break up and co-parent. And I was like, all right, those are the options I got. I'm cool with all the outcomes. Crazy thing is, kind of did all 3 in a crazy way. I was a single mom. We were together. We lived happily ever after. And now we're married. But inside of that, I'm very clear. And this is for every relationship. And this is how, if anyone ever asks me for relationship advice, I'm always like, okay, our relationship, we have an amazing marriage. And I'm so like grateful for what we have and what we built. But I was very clear that, one, we did the work before we got married. It wasn't just like, hey, let's get married. Like, we addressed everything. We had even dated other people in that 5-year breakup. Like, can I get over that? Can I forgive you for everything that...
Was it the streets that made you say, you know what, let me just stick with my ex because these streets are ghetto? Like, was there any piece of you that felt like you were dating, but you just weren't dating what you thought was available?
I mean, the streets are kind of ghetto. And there's that piece. But also, my ex was my best friend. Imagine spending every day with somebody for 6 years and then taking that away. It's like, makes me weepy. Like, that's my person. So more than just like having like a romantic relationship with someone, that was like my friend for the rest of my heart.
Don't make me cry. I already cried laughing. I'm going to lose a lash for sure. I need a Q-tip.
I literally, like, that was my friend. So it was double weird. It's like, how do you take somebody who you talk to every day and you have inside jokes with every day, and like, it just so happens like, okay, we get to be physical too. It's like, you're kind of hot. Like, but to take that all away is like, that was really hard for me. But then even in relationship advice, it's like, I'm very clear that in somebody else's relationship, you don't have what I have.
Yeah, and you don't know.
And you don't know what I know.
Right.
And even though some of the bad that I say, yeah, it's real bad. And some of the stuff we went through, we went through some stuff.
Yeah, you did.
Um, but at the end of the day, it's like, does the good outweigh the bad? Now, mind you, I'm not just getting, like, for all of those who are like, hey, I'm just going to get back with my ex today. Listen, evaluate it. Are they genuinely, one, at the end of the day, genuinely, he is a great person. Was he great for me in that time frame? Did he meet the ultimatum countdown? Did he do what I wanted him to do when I wanted him to do it? No. But when we were getting back together, the quality of person who he is was already there. The quality of person that he is as a man, and that I thought that he would be to our children. And it's kind of like you think about that in hindsight, in a sense, because it's like um, I didn't know he would be such an incredible father. Because how do you judge? Like, you don't have kids yet. I don't know if you're gonna be a good mom.
Who knows?
Right?
What is that anyway?
What even is a good mom? But
we all traumatize our children. We all create.
I just want my kids to go through the least amount of therapy.
They still gonna need it though. They still gonna need it.
It's very true. But in that sense, it's literally like you can't go back to like a toxic person or someone who abuses you or doesn't treat you well or all of the things. A narcissist. But when we got back together, it was two things. One, you're not in my relationship. You're not holding me at night. You're not picking up the phone. You're not texting me all day. You're not bringing me flowers to the house. You're not cooking for my kids. You're not helping to pay my bills. You're not helping to forward my dreams. Right. So it's like, why would I listen to you? Like, I appreciate your opinion. Right. But you're not, it's my life. Right. And if I go back into this and I get messed up, guess who's going to be in trouble? You. Me. Right. So really, your opinion has absolutely nothing to do with it. Now, mind you, we did do the work. And we both got to grow and see, like, these streets is ghetto. And I'm sure you can attest to being a beautiful woman and not like, oh, I'm so beautiful. But it's like, universally, you are a beautiful woman. I feel the same way about myself. Mm-hmm. And I say that with no qualms or like a chip on my shoulder that I'm better than anyone else. But it's hard to be a beautiful woman because 9.9999999% of men, when they see you, they'll be like, I want to tap that. They're not like 99.99999. She played the bass clarinet for 12 years. Right. I wonder if she could read sheet music. Right. Did you know she used to play the steel pan? Yeah. Did you know she's classically trained in ballet? Yeah. I wonder what it was like to be a professional cheerleader for 4 years. They're like, I just want to flip it over and slap it up and oil it down. They're not thinking about what a dope soul you are. Yeah. So it sucks because being a beautiful woman and you get attention, you're getting the wrong kind of attention. Mm-hmm. And so even when you get to know a guy and you make them wait and you make them get to know you and then they're like, yeah, you're still good. It just, the two people that I dated outside of that, I was just like, first of all, my ex could beat you up. Yeah. How we both gonna be scared? How we both gonna be intimidated if he were to walk into a room upset? Like, you can't protect me? No. This ain't gonna go over good. Yeah. But for the year that we secretly did, it was because of that, because of the naysayers. But this is how I developed it, and maybe this will help somebody. When you meet somebody new, and for myself, being a mom, mm-hmm. I said to self, I'm willing to give someone a solid 6 months to a year to get to know, like, is this my person? Do I want to move forward with this person in marriage? Like, does your breath stink in the morning? Do you cook? Would you rub my feet? Would you do the laundry sometimes? What does gender roles look like to you? What does our life look like together, right? Are you the man of character that I said I wanted for my son? Are you the man of character that I said I wanted for me? How do I act when I'm around you? What type of woman do you pull out of me? All of that's these so things, important. All of it is so very important. But inside of those things, right, I was just like, well, if I would give a new guy, an absolutely new guy. Now, mind you, I never took into account that he was my son's father because kids don't make marriages. Kids make marriages harder because they take your time, they take your money, they take your resources, they take your body, ladies, if you let them, okay? But I got my back. However, inside of that, so children honestly will weaken a relationship if you're not already strong. Yes. But I looked at it like, I had to account for my son's life because that's important of who I have him around. But inside of accounting for all that, I was like, well, if I'll give Joe Schmo 6 months to a year to get to know me, get to know my life, get to know who I am, then let's start from scratch. You be Joe Schmo, and I will see if you're the man for me. I will lay down all my standards. And yeah, you knew old Lauren, young Lauren, baby Lauren. I'm not that Lauren anymore.
Period.
So hi, hello, nice to meet you. Like, yeah, we have history, and that really helps. But it was getting to know myself and what I wanted out of myself and my relationship, and what I wanted from a man, and what I thought a man would be to my son. And then I was just like, all right, I'll give you 6 months to a year. And just because of our circumstance, and I was like, and I will never be your girlfriend again. So what is it? So the crazy part is, after that year of getting back to re-know each other, and he actually lived in Austin at the time. I still lived in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. That's when I moved back home after leaving Vegas. I opened up my own fitness club, and we would swap. So 1 month he would come visit me, the next month I'd come visit him, because we had separate businesses and we didn't want to like disrupt our businesses too much. But we would swap, and we were talking on the phone every day, and like really getting to know, like, are you my person? And actually, on one of my visits to Austin, he re-proposed to me. So it's actually kind of crazy because my husband is very chivalrous, and I love that about us. We have very like gender roles, like a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
I know, because you be cooking and cleaning.
I'm in my feminine, y'all. Yeah. Okay, get you somebody who allows you to be delicate and dainty and soft and cook and clean and dust and do all the things. But so he's very chivalrous, like would carry my purse on a regular day.
I love that.
Just because he doesn't want me to carry anything.
I think that's amazing.
Like, let me hold your phone. Is your phone taxing
Can you hold me?
Yeah,
I'm ready. Let's just grab me right here.
He would definitely do that. There have been times I've been like, baby, I need a piggyback ride my shoes.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. We've gone out to like
Army
the
man
club
carry
or
me.
something, like my feet, and I'm not taking these shoes off.
I can't do it.
I do not walk barefoot.
Ladies,
I do not.
Stop taking your shoes off in public, okay? I cannot.
That's nasty. And then you don't even wash your feet before you go to
get
sleep.
in the bed. Oh, stop taking your shoes off. Look, if the shoes aren't comfortable, that's on you. You shouldn't have wore a dinner shoe
you let your feet fall
on a night out.
That part. So there's definitely been...
Or pack them little rollable flats.
Yeah,
If you know you're going to take your shoes off, roll up the little rollable flats. It's this big. Pouch. Put it in your purse.
Yes. Oh
so that you aren't barefoot in the street. Don't be barefoot in the street.
That's just nasty.
I think the worst that I've ever done, and I hated every second of it, is at my condo. I will, if I'm on the elevator, once I get out of the elevator and I'm on the, if I'm like literally like, yo, I'm about to have a blister, I'm about to whatever. Only then? On your
carpeted hallway?
On my carpeted hallway. Only then.
Yes.
And they're penthouse floors, okay? So I'm like that. I know they get vacuumed.
There's not many people up here.
I know that it's clean.
Yes.
You know, so it's literally like, let me just slip out of these, and then I'll just,
Stop taking your shoes off. But there's definitely been there's been piggyback rides for me on the way to the car, and he's like, baby, that's no good.
So what I'm hearing you say is, at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you.
100%.
At the end of the day, you've got to know who you are and what it is that you want, and to stop allowing the chatter and the noise from other people to tell you how to live your life, because it's only you in it at the end of the day.
If I screwed up, it's on me.
It's on you.
If I thrive, it's on me.
I think that both of us got that trait.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's from mom or dad, because they're both stubborn and they're both hard-headed in the best ways. But I think that it is something really special when you can look at yourself and be like, take personal responsibility for the good and the bad choices that you make.
Yeah.
And for it to come down to the fact of, you know what, even if this doesn't work out, I know that I did my best.
That part.
Even if this doesn't work out, well, I gave it the best shot that I could possibly do.
Yeah.
And if it does work out, what if it's the most epic love story of all time?
That part.
You know, and I love how mom always says that. Like, but what if this is the most epic love story of all time?
Yeah.
Now, I haven't found that yet.
You will.
Dear future husband.
Yeah.
I am ready to bake bread in the kitchen, okay?
Yeah. From scratch.
From scratch.
Ask me to make peach cobbler from scratch.
Your girl can burn, okay? Our mama, look, okay, I'm the rebel in the family, especially Lauren was the golden child. I was the rebel.
Between you and Brad, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Brad was the black sheep.
Yeah.
I was the rebel. Sorry, Bradley, I love you.
Brad made himself the black sheep.
He did, and he was.
Yeah.
But my mom tried to get, Lauren is 2 years older than me, so she tried to get, Lauren was in the kitchen at 7. She tried to get me in the kitchen at 5. Yeah. I was like, ain't no way. I'm a 5-year-old. I do not know how to make eggs, okay? I do not need to know how to grill cheese a sandwich, okay? I will break down the little Ichiban noodles in the bag. Out here, they're called, what are they called?
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles. Yeah. And I will eat that. That's how I used to be as a child. But now I'm so grateful. I was a rebel until about 8. Yeah. And that's when mom finally got me into the kitchen. Yeah. So, now we cook black style, like American black style.
Yeah,
so
like Southern cooking.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese, collard greens.
Yo, my mac and cheese is lit. Y'all want to know the secret to it? Look, ladies. Is this thing on? I'm about to give y'all the juice.
Cheese, not from box.
Absolutely real cheese. But the for me, what I think the secret ingredient to the best mac and cheese is smoked Gouda.
Oh, smoked Gouda is delicious.
Oh I might have just changed your life, ladies. Give it a shot. Yes, with the cheddar. Yeah, and I could get one of these days. One of these days.
Dear future Sarah's husband. Dear future brother-in-law. Please find her.
He's probably stressed out over some girl right now.
The things we want for the people in our lives. I want a niece or nephew from my sister. Oh. All my brothers. Actually, you're the only one.
I am the only one.
Wow.
Rub that in my face. Just throw it out there.
She's the smartest of it. No,
you know what is crazy? I literally am like, wow, dear future husband, take your time. I know he's probably stressed out. Some girls probably just stressing him out. Don't worry, baby. I'm coming. You just gotta find me. And maybe I've met him, that I might be dating him currently. But also maybe not. Yeah. I feel like there's freedom inside of not having attachment to the unknown. I don't know what God has in store because every relationship I've been in, I thought that was going to be my husband. Yeah. And although I've been engaged twice, and the last one asked for my dad for permission to marry me, all of those, we ain't go, I see the face, don't do it. No, don't, we ain't gonna do it. That's good. But even inside of those things, I'm patient, and I'm also understanding that just because you're not married or you're not a parent, it doesn't give you less value, because if it's not what makes you happy, it's not worth it. Yeah. So it's so important to do what is best for you. It's so important to really be in integrity with self. And so we do have to switch gears a little bit here. Okay. You are a powerhouse. We have to have you back because there's so many things that we could talk about, like literally for hours and hours and hours. But I have to ask you, we have this segment of the show where it's giving versus it's giving. Yeah. Okay. And these are really hard. They're very challenging. Now, I know you listen to my podcast, so in your mind, you're probably like that's a lot.
You want to have all your fingers or all your toes?
No.
It's giving.
It's giving. No.
Okay.
So you have to tell me the positive or the negative answer based on the question that I ask you. Okay. You have 2 children.
Yes, I do.
Your 4-year-old, you tell to come over here and clean up the toys that I've now asked you to clean up 3 times. And your 4-year-old child says, "Shut up, Mom." It's giving.
It's giving.
No. It's giving. You about to get beaten to tomorrow and you might not make it. You might be dead. Or it's giving gentle parenting, please. Use correct verbiage.
Gentle parenting should not even be a thing. I'm just putting that out there. When you think about yourself, did your parent gentle parent you?
No.
Are you a good person?
I'm a great person.
Don't gentle parent your kids. That's what I'm going to put it. Write that down. Write it out. It's giving. My 4-year-old would never do that because from his birth has been to know, I don't play with that one. Not like that.
I know you don't because I've seen it.
I do what I'm told when I'm told it. Right there.
You know what I love though? I actually feel like, look, because we were definitely not gently parented.
We were far from gently parented.
Mom and Dad,
if this is
you whooped us, okay?
We were
We got beat down.
Yeah, and look
as
at
children.
how good we turned
We
out.
are all right, you know? But I say that to say now I feel like when you are a child and you're growing up, when you get like whooped as a child, it's like all you have to do now is a look.
Yeah.
I can just look at you and the
That
fear
part.
that goes into a child's body of like deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
No.
stop.
Oh no.
Mom's
He's
looking
gonna
at
be
me
nah,
like
I'm just kidding, mommy. I'm doing that right
I'm picking
now.
these up.
They're already picked up.
Literally, I already
Let's
did.
get on the floor.
Right.
Let me get over
With
there.
literally just a look, which
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, don't gentle parent.
I mean, you could do whatever works for you. I probably
Gentle parenting doesn't work. That's why you have kids who cuss at their parents and throw tantrums.
Yeah.
And when they just
Yeah. But I do think that children using their words is important.
no, using your words is important.
Yeah.
And also, like, okay, so this is the thing. Don't beat your children.
Right.
But one good off the cuff pop, it's a surprise. Like, oh snap. But you can tell that my 4-year-old, like my 15-year-old, he knows don't play with me. But my 4-year-old,
He'll try
he's
you.
so self-righteous now. Like the other day, it's funny. We were just at your event, and there was a guy who was speaking. He's like, yeah, people will say, who do you think you are? I actually said that to my 4-year-old. I said, who do you think you are? And he was like, I'm Conan Keith. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to laugh because that's really funny, but you are a child. And you gonna be beat if you don't. But no, I'm not saying beat your children,
Right.
But you just gotta surprise them sometimes,
Yeah.
and they gotta know that there's negative recourse, especially raising Black men.
Ooh.
I am your authority,
Yeah.
and if you cannot respect or listen to authority, if I was a police officer on the street and you don't listen to or respect my authority, you get tased or shot or a knee on your neck until you die. So I better teach them in the house how to respect an authority before I put them out on the street disrespecting authority.
Yeah.
And then they don't get to come back home to their mother because it was my fault that I never corrected them to do as they're told in the right situation.
Right.
However, use your voice. If I get crazy or if after you get a whooping, you be like, Mom, that was a bit much and this happened because of this. Me and my 15-year-old have very evolved conversations.
Yeah.
And so do me and my 4-year-old.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah. Like,
I've seen it. I'm
you allowed to talk to me, just not in a moment.
Right.
After. I'll be like, all right, stuff got a little crazy. Next time.
Yeah. We gonna be all right.
We all gonna grow. We all gonna evolve.
We gonna be all
We
right.
gonna be all right. Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this next one?
Yes.
Ooh, this is gonna be such a good one for you because I know how she is. Okay. You're at a picnic.
Yeah.
And you have made your son's plates, you've made your husband's plate, and now you finally get to sit down with the family and eat your plate.
Yeah.
Your husband has drank all of his juice,
Yeah.
and he grabs your cup to drink out of yours.
Yeah.
It's giving.
It's
Did
giving.
you just drink my juice and put your saliva in my cup? Or it's giving, I love him. I'll share everything.
Yeah, it's giving. I don't drink juice, so you can have it now. Or he knows that I've probably done, like we know each other so well.
I know.
It's almost like an idiosyncrasy. Like he could tell when I'm finished eating. He could tell when I'm finished drinking. If he were to go for my juice, because you know me and germs.
Yeah.
He knows I'm done already with the juice. And
But
it's
if you
okay.
weren't done with the juice.
It's giving it's yours now. And you're welcome. And go get me a bottle of water.
So you're not drinking after your partner.
I would drink, girl. You know what we've done after each other?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I would definitely
So
drink
he
after.
could drink your juice.
Oh, yeah. He could have all the juice. All the juices.
You just won't drink it after him.
No, I would drink it after him. Do you know the things I've done after him?
This is what I'm.
I mean, no.
I know you're.
His saliva can go in the juice and everywhere else. I said I accept him as he is. Yes. I would drink after my husband.
Okay.
Have you seen him? A lot of people would probably want to drink after
Oh
him.
my God.
I'm just, you know.
You have a handsome
I
husband.
do. He's very handsome.
This is a beautiful couple right here.
We are.
You know, it's funny. I always say how growing up, obviously you are an it girl. for certain.
I love her.
And this is the definition of how we know that she's an it girl, because her husband played in the CFL. That's how you guys met. We cheered for the team as well. Professional cheerleaders here, y'all. Probably not surprised at all for those that are listening and actually know me. I feel like I'm pretty optimistic.
I'm like a cheerleader all
in
day,
real life.
Day.
Yeah, that's why we made the team.
Yeah, 100%.
But what's funny is he was the MVP of the entire league. So the CFL is Canada's NFL, which is a really big deal. And Lauren bagged the most eligible bachelor
I didn't bag
in
him.
the
Listen,
whole
she's making it
country.
sound like I went for him. He went for me.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah,
y'all bagged each other.
We bagged each other.
I just
we
said you're
contract.
the it girl, and he's the most eligible bachelor. Then y'all came together.
We did, and we had beautiful little babies
that are very athletically gifted.
Super athletically gifted, and so just straight up handsome.
Shout out to Caprice. I just want to shout this. Caprice, if you watch this, he is already being scouted by universities right now. He's in grade 10. Yeah, he's in grade 10. Yeah. He is 6'3" and 15 years old. 180 pounds. And this man has abs, and I hate that.
He's so handsome.
He's handsome, and he's so
dear
gifted.
Future wife, please be good to my son.
Yeah, because we fight.
I'll fight. Listen, kapow.
I said what I said.
I actually actively pray, and I have, like, since he was a baby. I actively pray for my son's wives. I don't know who they are, where they are, who's birthed them, what background they come from. But listen, dear future Caprice and Conan's wife, please be sweet and kind and loving and know how to cook and be there for your man and be loyal above all things. That's what I value. I would love it also if you knew Jesus and you accepted him into your heart and you read the Bible. And if not, you have the app on your phone and you will allow my son to lead you wherever it is that you and your family shall go. That's my prayer for my sons.
I love that.
Yeah, wherever they are.
Yeah, hey, can pray that for my future husband too. I just, that would be delightful.
Dear future wife. I mean, dear future husband.
Dear future husband. It's giving evolution, and it's giving trust the process.
Yeah, for sure.
For anyone watching. So on this episode, Lauren, I think that you have really blessed us inside of parenting, inside of choosing your partner, inside of really moving and operating from integrity, and just allowing yourself to be yourself. So I want to say thank you so much for coming onto the show today.
My absolute pleasure.
And blessing this audience. We have to have you back, because I literally almost cried off a lash. I'm gonna have to makeup. We gotta fix this. We're probably gonna have to switch lashes out, because now when it gets wet, they start going like spider legs, weird thing. But I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you brought today. It was such a powerful, powerful episode. And if you are at home and you are wondering if maybe you should go back to your ex, maybe just figure out if that makes sense for you by counting the costs, by seeing what it takes to get better, and seeing if both of you are willing to give, because it takes two to tango. So if you guys have not yet, please make sure to click, subscribe, share this episode with somebody that may need to hear it. We love you. We're so grateful to have you. If no one has told you today, you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com. Nothing can stop you but you got to do something about it. Thank you guys. See you later.